So I don't know what to call these. Anyway, this video. I decided to do another video. I was getting changed and my body was seizing up, as it's been doing for a few years now, and I kind of get stuck there. So I've managed to get dressed enough to do the video, but I'm still quite shaken. So anyway, this isn't a depressing video. This video is gonna share some of the aspects I've been dealing. I don't know. I just share some of the things I've been dealing with on a daily basis, and try and paint a picture for you. It's paranoid schizophrenia. So obviously you know what paranoia is, and schizophrenia means like a shattered personality, from what I understand. But I don't really aim to have a personality, so that makes perfect sense. It's what I practice out of my spiritual understanding by nature, so by course. Sorry, I'm trying to look a little bit more presentable, but I need to take it off. So I suffer from paranoid schizophrenia, and in addition to that, my mind has gone on autopilot with creating possibilities, creating stories about reality. So my mental health has invaded my spiritual perception of the world, wherever that is on my head, and my spiritual perception of the world is now where I would previously think about something, and I'm getting somewhere with this. Don't worry. I'm just trying to paint a picture of context of how I think and how I'm still sane somehow under all of this, so I don't get put in a mental health hospital for making the video. But before, with my spiritual perception on the world, I would think about things. So I would think about society, I would think about nature, I would think about the future, I would think about the past. And in that thought process, ideas would come to me naturally. Like, you think about the future, what's going to happen with money, what's going to happen with security, what's going to happen with nationality, what's going to happen with the coming floods, what's going to happen with the coronavirus, etc. Now, where I would normally have thought about that, and I could create ideas as a result of my initial thinking, my mental health has invaded, and now, instead of thinking about it, it's gone on autopilot, and it automatically comes up with weird and wonderful stories. You still with me? So I needed to express that for reasons. So with the paranoid schizophrenia, I felt I pretty much had it on lockdown about a year ago. I knew I had it systemized of how to deal with the paranoia, different elements of it. And over the past year, I've had to deal with the same problem, but with a lot more stresses on my life. So the previous control I would have over my thinking and thought processes, etc., has become weaker at the same time as my mental health has gone on autopilot with stories. So why am I saying all this? Right. Around the turn of the year, I think it was possibly as an effect of the medication I was on that time. My body hasn't been able to get in control since. And it's been like a constant state of paranoia on a physiological level within my body. It's like, imagine you're paranoid about the lockdown, imagine you're paranoid about your job, your security, your future, providing for your family. And with your mind, you can put things in place. Right, this is the plan. Right, this is what we're gonna do. There's a possibility I might lose my job. It's only a possibility. I'm not gonna think about it too much, but I will put plans in place so I don't get stressed and don't let it ruin my life. And I can still have a future, even if it's not as good as the one I currently have. In other words, through thought, you can negate the need for stress. So what's the point of stressing? Now, the point of stressing is so that the body doesn't suffer, in my mind. Because when you stress, you affect the body. And thank you for bearing with me, because I'm still getting back to, I haven't forgotten about the original point. But essentially what's happened to me since I took that medication is that my body has been in a constant state of stress as a result of what would otherwise be contributed to paranoia. So now imagine when you're paranoid, that feeling, that sensation, that the way it affects the body, my body has been experiencing that in and of itself, without my mind adding to it in any way. So it makes my previous systemization of being able to deal with my paranoid schizophrenia that little bit harder, because if I'm not perfect, I've got a body and an environment that's just waiting for my mind to slip up with any element of paranoia. So it's walking on a bit of a tightrope, really. And that's just the situation. I think I've dealt with it exceptionally well. But at the same time, it has been a bitch, because I have had one hell of a motherfucking storyline put upon me. And that storyline is that I've been that storyline is you might have to bear with me a little bit trying to get this out, because I've not expressed this before. I didn't expect to. Anyway, the storyline is that some sort of secret organisation, be it MI5, MI6, the CIA, Men in Black, who knows, have been trying to affect me for some reason. What a life, right? I'm here fighting my mental health. I've also got the CIA on my back. Now, I'll go into a little bit of context before I divulge into that story. The context is what I've been training my mind for a good 15 years at least, and that is to deal with being able to see the problems of the world on such a level that I keep my focus on where is absolutely the most practical place for change to happen. And I've a bit better in it. I'm heavily influenced by David Icke and his work. And for those that aren't aware, his work essentially says there's a secret reptilian race that essentially are in control of the Illuminati, the Freemasons, society, the governments, whatever government, on whatever side of war, it's the same people. So I've been trying to train my mind to be able to accept that reality, and it's hard to be impartial to that and to live it. That there's a secret reptilian agenda, and they can shapeshift and take control of your body and energy and whatever else that they're into. So what I'm trying to get at is that I've been dealing with that on a world level in my mind for quite a while. So I have this secret organisation now, the CIA, Men in Black, trying to affect me. On top of everything. So what happened? Well, it started last year. In all the shouting and all the madness, I addressed the CIA directly to air out my emotions, air out my feelings, and the amount of rubbish that comes out of my mouth on a regular basis is unbelievable. And on this occasion, it was just, for whatever reason, I don't even remember, focused on the CIA. So I'll give you a quick picture. I think what it is, it's like my mind bombards me with all these thoughts, and I can sit on them forever, or I can take a little bit of action and keep my mind clean. So for instance, it starts to bombard me about society and control and psychosis and all of that, and I can work on it in my head for a million years, or I can have a little shout, address the stories out loud in person, and have them ended there and then. Not have to have it going round in my head for eternity. So last year I was airing out some of my thoughts. I was referencing the CIA quite a bit, and I think they might have heard again, around the time the lockdown started, I don't know, a few months now actually, my memory doesn't fade. My memory fails me in that instance. I was walking along the street, and this is what I'm giving you is what my mind takes and adds to the psychotic storylines to give it emphasis, to make it real. It's what I would otherwise do with thought on spiritual subject matters, but my mental health is doing that on autopilot with psychosis now. So I was walking down the street just next to me here, and something catches my eye in must be what, third floor top window of a house, and it's like this. It's almost like a TV split into 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, and each section is pumping out like a beam of light, colour. This actually happened. I think the colours were red, green, and maybe blue. I don't recall. And it really caught my eye. It's like they were pushing. It was like they wanted me to see it almost. Like what the hell is someone pointing these lights out of their window for? Anyway, ever since my vision has been affected by it, I see those colours have seen those colours on a regular basis. Just been observant. It's affected my energy. It's affected my ability to read time. And if I'm honest, my reality has broken ever since. Right. So that's basically it. There's more bollocks there that adds emphasis to it, but yeah, I just wanted to share that. In all the craziness, my mind gives me entertainment as well. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else? Yeah, I mean, a little weird thing that's been happening, like I watched, I remember watching Spooks, the series when I was younger. It was a series based upon the secret services in the UK, and now be careful what I'm about to tell you, because I don't want to give everyone psychosis out there, but one of the episodes they showed someone who was